Shades Mills Conservation Area is the fabulous forest that's in the city of Cambridge. It's often referred to as Cambridge's hidden treasure, as so many people that live here either don't know about it or don't know how wonderful it is. Developed in the 1970s, Shades Mills Conservation Area is run by the Grand River Conservation Authority. The GRCA is the oldest water management agency in Canada. 1 million people live within the Grand River watershed. The GRCA also owns and manages many conservation areas, parks and trails within the watershed. One of these being Shades Mills, which is a day park with no overnight stays allowed. Located at 450 Avenue Road, it's a hidden gem that's so easy to get to. Open 363 days a year, closed for only Christmas Day and Boxing Day. From April 1st to October 31st, it's open from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. This changes on November 1st to March 31st when it changes from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. A membership card at this time costs $140 a year for up to 6 people, either in a vehicle or walking in together. This card is good for the entrance into 10 parks, from Bellwood Lake to Rockwood. If there's no attendant on duty at the gatehouse, the cost is $15 per vehicle. And if the attendant is there, the costs vary, and I'll list that below. Fall and winter can be quiet times at the park, but you can always check the capacity of any Grand River park before you arrive, because there are park limits. There's a gravel road that leads to the gates. On the left-hand side is the entrance for no membership when the attendant is on duty. On the right side is where you can use your membership card or pay the fee with debit or credit through the automatic gate. Why does the park ask you to pay? Because it's the user fees from park admission and other programs that funds Shades Mills and other parks. No tax dollars are used. There are several parking lots, so if you're planning on meeting up with family or friends, it's best to make clear which one you're going to be parked at. During the summer, the favorite attraction at the park is the beach. And a note that there's no lifeguard on duty, so parents must be aware their children are at all times. The water is an 80-acre reservoir, which was created by the construction of the Shades Mills Dam. When the weather turns cold, the beach is closed to swimming. But even on the gloomy days, people are drawn to the water. At the beach area, there are shelters, picnic tables, washrooms, trash cans, areas for barbecues, and barbecue coals disposal area. With less people about, you're bound to see more wildlife as the birds such as the geese, swans, ducks, and herons lays about in or near the water. You're also more likely to come across people fishing as the reservoir is home to northern pike, largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, and yellow perch. Boats are allowed in the reservoir, but only electric motors are allowed. Just a reminder, in Ontario you need a valid fishing license between the ages of 18 and 65, easy to get online through the ministry that I've linked below. You should also be familiar with the provincial fishing regulations regarding fishing seasons and catch limits. And for anyone who's not sure if fishing is for them and want to try it before buying a license, there are 4 times in the year where a license is not required. Family Fishing Weekend in February, Mother's Day Weekend in May, Father's Day Weekend in June, and Family Fishing Week in July. For more information, again, check with the ministry. Shades Mills also put their canoe and kayak rentals on hold for 2021. But if you have your own, then they are easy to launch at the boat dock by the far parking lot. The reservoir is a small body of water, but it's still a lot of fun to get into your canoe or kayak and explore. You can look to see the volleyball courts. There are 3 professional beach volleyball courts, a great place to gather with family and friends to have a game. These are the courts that are used by the Scorpions Volleyball Club. For children, there are play areas. While people love the beach, swimming in warm weather, fishing, canoeing, and kayaking, it's the trails that make Shades Mills so spectacular. There are 12 kilometers of trails through mature hardwood forest, and it seems like each trail takes you through a different feeling of forest. While some trails are filled with green and lush foliage, wildflowers, and dense bush, others are more mystical, filled with twisted trees and moss. There are even some places that might be called a little spooky. There's a saying that if you're stressed, you should take a half-hour walk in nature. If you're really stressed, take 1 hour. Dogs are welcome at Shades Mills, but must be on a leash at all times. There are maps of the hiking trails, and they're well marked with blazes. Regular hikers know that it's always a great idea to carry a whistle with you in case of unexpected problems on the trail. In an emergency, blow 3 long blasts on the whistle then stop for a while to see if you hear an answering whistle. In the fall, there is a magic of walking through trees as the leaves are gently falling. You'll hear the rustle in the undergrowth as squirrels, chipmunks, and other small animals race around getting ready for winter. There are various wild animals in Shades Mills, and if you're lucky, you might just happen to come across a deer. These animals are going to try to steer clear of you as they're used to hikers in the area, but as a reminder, never approach a wild animal. It's the birds that many people enjoy looking for as they walk the trails, from woodpeckers to songbirds. In the past, Shades Mills hosted Wild Ontario's Birds of Prey, where you had an opportunity to see owls, hawks, vultures, and more. If you're interested in photography, sketching, or painting, the trails have an abundance of beautiful, interesting, and unique things to look at and gather inspiration. It's a wonderful place for portrait photography, especially as Halloween is coming up. If hiking is a bit too tame for you, you can also bike the trails to challenge yourself. Are you looking for a bit of an adventure? Geocaching. It's a sport of following clues to hidden treasure. Some are easy to find and some more difficult. Create a free geocaching account from the link below, choose the geocache that you want to find in Shades Mills, and navigate to its location. You can never be sure what you'll see when hiking in Shades Mills. I came across a group of arborists who had special permission from the Grand River Conservation Area to practice their tree climbing skills. The property is dotted with tribute benches from families in honor of loved ones. It's also possible to celebrate with honorary trees through donations to the GRCA. Regardless of the season, I'm in the park year-round enjoying it, and hope you do the same. In the winter in the past, there have been cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, and ice fishing. You can check their site to see if it's still going to be offered for this year. Previously, Shades Mills had interesting events, from Bug Identification Day to Yoga in the Park. Check their events calendar to see when those are starting up again. If you're looking for the perfect family gift, then consider a membership to the Grand River Conservation Authority. Perfect for the busy family who wants to take a quick hike in the afternoon to de-stress, or a full day in the park on the weekends.